let's get straight to it. We're treating this as an active intelligence briefing. What you're about to see is our analysis of a global crisis as it's happening. First, let's get oriented. The date is March 2nd, 2026. All the information we're covering is based on the absolute latest intelligence we have. This is a real-time situation. And here is the single most important takeaway. The fundamental dynamic in the Middle East has completely shifted. The long-running shadow war, well, it's over. What used to be covert is now out in the open. So let's be absolutely clear about what that means. For years, this was a conflict fought through proxies, through clandestine operations. That era has ended. We are now in a state of direct, large-scale war. It's really crucial to understand what came before. This shadow war was the status quo for decades. It was a war fought in the gray zones. And the fact that we've now crossed that line, that we've moved past this, that's exactly why the situation is so incredibly dangerous. Okay, so what was the trigger? What tipped us over the edge? It was a joint U.S.-Israeli offensive launched over the past weekend. Its codename Operation Epic Fury. The scale of this opening attack is just staggering. Intelligence confirms over 2,000, that's right, 2,000 individual targets inside Iran were hit in the opening salvo. Make no mistake, this was not a limited strike. This was a massive, coordinated assault. So what were they aiming for? Well, the target list tells the story. They went after three primary things: underground nuclear facilities, ballistic missile bases, and the military's command and control centers right in the capital, Tehran. The objective was strategic: to decapitate the nuclear program, neutralize the missiles, and disrupt the leadership. And we don't have to guess at the official reasoning. The White House came out with a statement from President Trump, and the language was unambiguous. This was, and I'm quoting, an effort to eliminate the nuclear threat and overthrow the regime. So regime change is officially on the table. Now, this is the development that changes everything. Multiple intelligence agencies have now confirmed it. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in the strikes on Tehran. This has ripped open a power vacuum that Iran hasn't seen since 1989. The entire political landscape there has just been turned upside down. Of course, Iran's response was swift, and they're sticking to their military playbook. They know they can't match the US and Israel in a conventional, head-on fight. So they've launched a widespread, asymmetric counterattack. It's designed to hit their enemies wherever they're most vulnerable. And this really shows you the two completely different strategies at play. On one side, you have this high-tech, centralized assault on key infrastructure, and on the other, you have this decentralized, multi-front retaliation using missiles, drones, and their network of proxies across the entire region. And here are the specifics of that retaliation. We've confirmed volleys of missiles and drones targeting Israel directly. At the same time, U.S. military bases all across the Persian Gulf, in Kuwait, the UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar, have come under fire. And crucially, Iran's most powerful proxy, Hezbollah, has now been activated, opening a new front against northern Israel from Lebanon. And this retaliation has had a very real human cost. The Pentagon has just confirmed it. At least 3 American service members have been killed. This is a critical threshold. The conflict is no longer something being fought from a distance. So, all of that brings us to this moment. Let's get a high-level situation report. Where do the main players stand right now? This table sums it up nicely. Iran is officially in a state of war, but it's also scrambling to deal with a leadership crisis. They're reporting over 550 dead and significant damage. Israel is on maximum alert, pushing its own offensive while fighting a new war with Hezbollah and dealing with rocket attacks that have killed over 10 civilians. And the United States is leading the charge on Epic Fury, has confirmed casualties, and has already moved the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group into the region. Look, this conflict is not staying contained to the Middle East. Not even close. It has already sent a massive shockwave across the entire globe, triggering immediate economic and diplomatic crises. And the fallout is hitting from all sides. We're looking at an immediate energy crisis as everyone fears the Strait of Hormuz could be closed. Oil prices are spiking, global markets are in turmoil. The Nasdaq took a major tumble. Diplomatically, China and Russia have already condemned the attacks and are calling for a ceasefire. And just on a basic level, it's logistical chaos, with hundreds of international flights being canceled.
Just to put this all into perspective, military and geopolitical analysts are already issuing some very stark warnings. The early consensus is that the potential scale, the duration, and the global impact of this war could end up being even greater than the 2003 Iraq War.
And that's where we are, right now. A full-scale war is underway, the leader of a major nation is gone, and the global economy is teetering on the brink. Diplomacy has never been more critical. And all of it leaves us with the one question that really matters. What happens next?